Have you ever run into someone who completely changed their style but was still the same person on the inside? Well, that's basically the setup to this manga. Hey y'all, it's Broken and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing, you guessed it, another gyaru manga. Today's manga, Kurokiya-san wants to lead him by the nose. That is definitely a unique title to say the least. This is like the 5th long-form video I've done on a gyaru manga over the past year. Should I just keep reviewing gyaru manga or should I mix it up a bit? Leave your comments down below. Anyway, Kurokiya-san was one of the first gyaru manga that I read back when I first started actively looking to read more gyaru manga. I was like, hey, I really liked Gal Gohan, let me find more manga just like it. I'm a bit surprised that this got a official English physical release. I believe it came out like 6 years ago and it ended 3 years ago, and I didn't think it was very popular. Now, I'm not complaining. The more gyaru manga, the better. I mean, I want to build my gyaru manga collection. Again, I'm just a little surprised. So this manga is the classic teasing girl versus serious straight-laced guy, similar to Gal Gohan's dynamic. So does this manga bring anything new to the table, or is it just more rom-com slop? Let's go ahead and get into the review to find out. If the title doesn't hook you, then the first chapter will. So what's the setup? We're introduced to Kurokiya, a high school gyaru. She's stylish, rebellious, and dangerously close to flunking out of school. Lucky for her, an honor student volunteered to tutor her. Turns out it's her childhood friend, Tadashi, who she hasn't seen in 3 years since elementary school. Back in the day, she was the smart one out of the two of them, but now he's at the top of the class. Kurokiya has always had a crush on him, but she doesn't want to be the one to confess her feelings first. She wants him to confess. She wants to make his heart race, make him flustered, make him be putty in her hands. Lead him by the nose, as the title would suggest. She's a gyaru after all, it's her expertise, but there is just one issue. He's too serious, he takes things at face value and never gets embarrassed. So when she tries to flirt with him by teasing him, she normally fails in hilarious fashion. For example, she takes his pencil case and sticks it between her watermelons and tells him if he wants it back to just take it. Of course, she expects him to get all nervous and flustered, but no, he just jams his hand right in there with no hesitation. He's just like, you said I could, so I did. Now here's the twist, he also has a crush on her. He studied hard and improved himself to impress her and gained the confidence to ask her out. But he just can't bring himself to say, I like you, thus beginning our slow building romance. Getting into the characters, let's start with Kurokiya. She's bold, flirty, and surprisingly vulnerable. She can diss out the flirting but crumbles when he reciprocates. For example, she'll send him an ab picture with a little extra. Again, she expects him to get all flustered, but instead he just sends an ab picture back. Her gyaru fashion is on point and she has a real spark. Seeing her so happy around Tadashi is genuinely sweet. She can get a bit insecure, but he's always there to kind of pick her up, make her feel better. Since he's teaching and tutoring her when it comes to schoolwork, she'll teach him and introduce him to things outside of school, like bubble tea. When it comes to Tadashi, he's the ultimate brick wall. He's calm, collected, and completely immune to her antics, at least on the outside. His quiet affection for her simmers beneath the surface, so watching him trying to focus on tutoring her while she's trying to flirt with him is half the fun. Their chemistry is what makes this manga shine. Since he has a crush on her, he never passes up any opportunity when offered. We already talked about the watermelon situation. In one chapter, she tries to tease him by saying, hey, if you forgive me, I'll give you a kiss. So he's like, okay, I forgive you, and tries to pull her in for a kiss. There's a point where she offers up her lap as a pillow, so he face plants into it. We can't forget about Kurokiya's best friend, who also happens to be a gyaru. She's like the living embodiment of people reading this manga. I always love characters like these. She's a fan of their relationship and is rooting for them to get together. The thing is, she's a gyaru by day, but secretly a manga author by night. She's basing her manga off of their interactions, so she's using them as reference material. To get into what I liked the unique role reversal setup, where she used to be the smart one and he was the dumb one, now he's the smart one and she's the dumb one. The expressions in this manga are hilarious, and when I say hilarious, I mean hilarious. They kind of give me a SpongeBob close-up feel. I absolutely love the dog face that she makes. Their face expressions aren't the only things that are hilarious, the whole manga is in general. Like, he gets so excited about taking a selfie with her that he pulls her so close that he's crushing her. Meanwhile, she's just worried about her BO. I mentioned mentioned before that her friend is making a manga based off their interactions, but the thing is that she's so obsessed that she will hide in a closet to spy on them. She'll scream in excitement about all the research that she's able to secure and how she's going to use it for her manga. The manga can be pretty sweet at times. For example, he tells her pretty early on that she was his inspiration. She's the reason why he studied so hard and became the person he is now. He'll tell her that he thinks that her gyaru style is wonderful, so in the next chapter she goes Super Saiyan Gyaru 2. We get a flashback of them giving gifts to each other, and we see how they both still have both of those gifts. I like the art style, her gyaru look visually pops. Yes, there is fan service, but it does incorporate itself into the humor extremely well. Here's a fun fact, the author actually wanted to make the manga even more ecchi, but they would always hold themselves back. They said in their next manga they want to do as they please, and you know what, the author stuck to their word. In their next manga they kind of go buck wild. And hey, if you're enjoying the video, please like and subscribe. It lets me know to do more videos like this. To get into some negatives, let's start with the repetitive gags. For example, she'll say his nickname, Mr. Take It Serious Tadashi, and he will always correct her by saying his full name. That got old by chapter 4. The teasing dynamic can feel a bit formulaic after a few chapters, with little variation on the setup and payoff. She'll try to tease him, but because he's so serious, he never gets flustered, which leads to her being the one that gets flustered and embarrassed. Without going into detail, the ending is the classic as soon as they get together, the manga ends. And it ends the very next chapter. We don't even get a proper kiss, it's covered up by shadow. Like, how can you make a fan service filled manga, but then get weird when it comes to the characters sharing a kiss? It's crazy to me. I want to make it clear, the confession itself was good, just the fact that the manga ends right after is bad. Because of this ending, there are a lot of loose ends and some stuff that just doesn't get resolved. Like, we never particularly learn why she became a gyaru and let her grade slip so much. Her best friend is also a gal, and she's near the top of the class. Even Tadashi calls her out. He's like, hey, it's great that you're a gal, but that's no excuse for your grades to slip like this. Speaking of her grades, we'll never know if they improve enough for her to go to the same school as him. The manga just left a lot of side stuff and characterizations unfinished. It sucks when there's so much juicy potential, but the manga just ends. The cool thing is that the author actually admitted that they wanted to continue the manga. But in their words, they say, since I was a small fry making my own manga, and considering that this was my first serialization, I think this was a good enough outcome. I respect the author for saying, in a roundabout way, that they were forced to wrap up their manga. Most just say, thanks for reading my manga, and that's all we get. But with that said, even if the author had more time, I have a feeling that it still would have ended basically the same. As in, as soon as they confess, the manga would have ended. It's rare for a manga to continue after a confession, but I'm still going to complain about it. I just don't understand why authors don't want to explore the characters actually being in a relationship. My last negative is a nitpick. Something gets revealed at the end of the manga that's funny, but also frustrating at the same time. So spoilers here. It's revealed that he knew that she was flirting and teasing with him to try to get him to confess. He knew like 100% that she liked him, but still couldn't confess his own feelings. Again, it's funny that he knew that she was trying to get him to confess, but at the same time, frustrating. Like, if he knew, why not ask her out? Like, what's there to lose at that point? Like, if this was revealed and they got together in the middle of the manga, then that would have been great, but with it happening at the end of the manga, it's just kind of frustrating. Overall, this manga is about rekindled connections, emotional growth, and the slow burn of mutual affection. It touches on how people use teasing and humor as a defense mechanism. Being in control, even playful, can sometimes be a way to hide your vulnerability. Her teasing isn't just flirting, it's her way of expressing her emotions that she's not ready to say out loud, mainly because she's trying to get him to express his feelings first. But this manga is swimming in a crowded pool. There are plenty of manga with the dynamic of teasing girl, stoic guy. If I'm being honest with myself, if the female lead wasn't a gyaru, I probably wouldn't have paid this manga any attention. The gyaru twist does help with making the manga stand out among other teasing girl manga, but the story needs to be a bit stronger for it to really stand out. Again, I like the unique role-reversal setup. I'm a sucker for teasing girl romances if it's not too generic. This one does a good enough job of keeping me entertained. I enjoy the gyaru flavor that the manga brings. Kurokiya's fashion and gyaru aesthetic helps the manga set itself apart from other more typical school rom-coms with a teasing girl dynamic. I enjoy the leads and the side characters, they make me laugh. Speaking of, the manga can be pretty funny overall. When it comes to my negatives, I didn't care for the repetitive gags, I hate how the manga ends right when they get together, and it doesn't do too much to stand out compared to other similar manga. So, should you read this manga? Well, if you're a fan of series like Don't Toy Me Miss Nakatoro and Uzaki-chan, the answer is a definite yes. Just note that Kurokiya isn't anywhere near as good as these series. So if you enjoy teasing romances, gyaru, and straightforward guys, you'll get a kick out of this manga. But as far as teasing romances go, in general, it's pretty average. As far as the average manga goes, I'll give it like a 6 out of 10, but on the gyaru scale, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. So have you read it? Plan on reading it? Please leave your comments down below. Again, should I keep this gyaru manga review train going or should I mix it up a bit? Please leave your comments down below, and if you like this video, like the video, and if you like me, subscribe to me. And as always, this has been Broken, and I'll catch y'all next time.